Welcome to another installment of EVH gear discussion. My name is Eric Broadbent, and I want to thank you for checking out some of my last videos I did. The last episode I released was a discussion on pedals and their signal flow, how to hook them up to your amplifier, whether it be the 5150 or any amplifier for that matter. I had a lot of questions of people asking how to hook them up in order to the front of the amp, to the loop, or a combination of both. And in that video, I touched base on the Pedalsnake, and I had mentioned I was going to put some pictures on the screen. Unfortunately, I didn't do that. So I'm going to go over the Pedalsnake a little bit in depth in this video, and we've got some other good things coming your way as well too. I just want to start off the video with a question I got through Facebook. It was from Lee Trueblood, and he asked me, "Hey Eric, I recently watched your video about your pedals and your setup, and I have a few questions that maybe you might be able to answer. My first is, how do I know if I should run my pedals for the back of my head and right in front of it? Also, what is the best way to power pedals? Battery, 9-volt chargers, straight to a wall outlet, or a pedal power box? And how can I use my pedals and not lose or change the tone of the amp?" Okay, very good questions, very in depth as well. I guess right off the bat, I had to ask him what pedals he had, because I can't just say, oh, you can run all your pedals to the input or you can run them all to the loop. I had to figure out what he had. So a little bit further conversation with him, he told me that he has an EVH phaser, a flanger, an MXR blue box. I think that's an octo fuzz type pedal. Yeah, Jimmy Page, people uses that. And an MXR carbon copy. I had one of those as well too. I think that actually that's an analog delay, kind of like a tape echo. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it had like a chorus or modulation effect in it as well too. And then the HOF mini reverb, TC Electronics. All right, that's pretty easy. Some of those are similar to what I have right now, so I can give you some personal experience from my end. So what I would do there, looking at your list, I would run your guitar to the EVH phase. I'd go out to the flanger. I'd go to the blue box, that's fine. Now, as far as that's pretty straightforward. 1, 2, 3, phase, flanger, and blue box go right to the input of the amplifier. And I would run the carbon copy and the reverb through the loop. You could experiment which one comes first in the loop, whether it be the delay first or the reverb. If it was me, I'd probably go reverb first and delay, but experiment. You will get some different results. So my way is not the right way. I'm just suggesting that's at least the preferred input for input, and then the loop as well. So once again, guitar to the phase to the flanger, flanger to the blue box, to the amplifier, to the input, and then the delay and the reverb to the loop. I hope that helps you a little bit. The Pedalsnake is what we touched base on. I just barely kind of scratched the surface on that. I've got one in my hand here as well, and I'll go over that a little bit with you. Actually, one of my subscribers on YouTube, GGEVH5150, said he wanted to see some more information on the Pedalsnake. So let's do just that. The Pedalsnake is, like a typical snake you'd have for your XLR cables, or your mixing console, whatever as well. And it comes in various configurations, and they have, I'm not sure you can see very well, but they have a DIN type end on them. And this one I have 4 DINs, and this one's probably about 25 feet long. They're labeled amplifier end, and this one is they got amplifier end, and then you've got pedal end. Okay, very, very nice. The cables don't really twist up, like it's nice rubber. What I like about these things, you just flick it right out, and it's easy to set up. And the thing I really do love about the Pedalsnake is that if you're in a rush, you're opening up for another band or something, you've got 15 minutes to set up and ready to go. Instead of looking for power, looking for send and return cables and guitar cables and patch cables and all that kind of stuff, you've got everything right here. All you're going to need is one guitar cord to run from your guitar to your first pedal in your chain. You can buy various pigtails, I think they call them, and I've got a bunch of them here, as you can see, and they do various different things. Some of them are power. Okay, here's one that will power up a traditional Boss type pedal. You've got elbowed, right angle jacks. You've got just about everything you can think of. So you just get what you need. When you order the Pedalsnake, you can order the configuration. You can have them build it to your specs. You just tell them what you want to do, and you kind of need to tell them how many signal chains you run, or what you're running. You want to run like send and return. You want one guitar cable. You want maybe a wireless, something like that. In my case, with my board, I'm actually using. This will send power through the snake as well too. And the really cool thing about that, the way I have mine running right now, most of my pedals, all of my pedals, are 9 volt. I do have one pedal on the board that's 18 volt, that's the flanger. This can handle that. So behind your amplifier, where you've got this back at the amp end, these plug into your pigtails back there, and they'll go to your send and return of your amplifier, and then they'll also supply your power. So you have your traditional wall warts back behind your rig, and those plug into here. Send a 9 volt, you can send your 18 volt, and the nice thing with that is at your pedal board, you're not going to have that hum of the wall warts at your pedals, and no matter how you try to isolate them, you are going to get some hum, and especially if you're playing through a high gain amp like the 5150 amplifier, you're going to have some really noisy interference. So get the wall warts behind the back line, and use the Pedalsnake, and it'll be a blessing. And actually, I think I answered Lee's question from earlier too. He asked me about how to power these up. Get the Pedalsnake, buy a couple adapters and put them behind your rig, and you'll thank me later. I'll put a link down to the Pedalsnake in the bottom of the video here, but you definitely want to check that out. Coming up soon too in the next video, last video too, I just kind of scratched the surface on a lot of things, and the last video touched base on the BBE Sonic Stomp. And Buddy on Facebook had commented, I think Dwayne Myers had mentioned he was interested in hearing that in depth. And it's funny, it's a pedal that I would have never bought. It was given to me as a gift, and I cannot play without it now. So my next video, I'll touch base on that one, and I'm going to play without it for a few minutes, and then I'm going to play with it. And I'll try to keep it simple, maybe just have some reverb on, nothing else. And I'll let you hear clean rhythm and a nice lead channel with it on. And the way I described it to some of the people that were questioning me about it is I said, you play with it for 10 minutes or so, and then you turn it off, and it's almost like, where did the life go? And it's a great pedal. That pedal as well, I would run it to the front of the amplifier. The question was posed to me tonight, would you run it through the loop as well? I don't like to do that. I don't like to run any real high, like anything that's a gain boost. I don't like to run too many of those through the loop. I prefer to have those through the front. It's just a preference of mine, but I don't think you should run too many gain boosting things through the loop. It's just my opinion. But I think that's about it for now. I hope I answered some of your questions. As always, please give me a like and subscribe, and I'll continue to bring these videos to you. And we're looking forward to NAMM coming up next weekend. I'm sure we'll have some reports on some of the new EVH gear as well. So we'll talk to you soon. Cheers.